Okay, everybody out there in YouTube land, it's really early in the morning. We're in the 4:50 something in the morning hour. Yeah, it's time. Let's go get in the truck and get the trailer and start this road trip. Man, we got a ways to go, and I hope this is gonna be worth it. I can't even talk. It's so early. Ooh. I like early mornings. I like to get up early and go move and get stuff done, but this is a little bit early for me. Anyways, got to start a road trip and a new project. So let's see how this goes. Okay guys, Monaboline, we picked up the new project, and now we got another 4.5 hours drive all the way back to Amarillo. So what's just a couple of 100 miles between projects? Nothing. See you back at the shop. So I definitely need to fix a couple things. I didn't realize until today that I'm having troubles with the tail lights. My just running lights don't work. And I found underneath in the middle of the trailer, there's just this weird damage on the wire. Excuse me. So I've got a hold of a whole new spool of wire. I'm going to rewire the trailer a bit, and I've added something really cool. Let me bring you around to look at it. Right back here, I've got a red light here and a red light here installed. I'm going to grind these off. And basically from here up is about all that I can see of this trailer when I'm going down the road, and at night it's black and I can't see it at all. So traveling from Amarillo to Lubbock and just the other side of Lubbock, finally the sun came up and I could see the trailer was still back there. But there were several times I looked and I was like, wait, is it still there? And a little panic, but I had to figure out a way to find the trailer. So at night, these two things are going to be lit up, and I'm going to be able to see it from the rearview mirror at all times. It's going to be great. But I still need to repair the wire underneath the trailer, and that's what I'm going to do right now. Okay, there we have it. I've got a battery up front on the tongue, and I've got, all the wiring replaced. I've got my two lights up high on the tailgate of the trailer, hidden up in there real nice. Got to do a little bit of trimming on the screws that are sticking out right there. Other than that, this is what I dug out of there. Man, all of these wires were just, chewed up underneath there. This is, here, let's get to this part right here. This is what was puzzling me. It's like there's a little nip here, here. And it didn't really correspond to anything under the trailer, but yeah. I also put in 2 U-bolts right here because, man, was I tired of my straps snapping. And I did get a set of these from Walmart. They're like $1, $2 each. And they set on the rail like so. and your strap lays on top of that. They do work, but when your strap snaps on a different spot, then they're just like a leaf in the wind and they're gone. So yeah, I got 2 U-bolts in the front, and here soon I'll get me 2 more U-bolts. I'll put 2 in the back. But until then, trailer lights are working better. And now I'm going to be able to see my trailer at night with these 2 top lights. Okay, everybody, this is probably the moment y'all been waiting for. What is the new project? What is Gordon's Garage going to do? Well, it's right here. No, actually, that's my regular bike. I've already done that project. That's an episode, maybe while you're like, share, subscribe and stuff. Go down and go into my videos. You can see where I took this bike and brought it back to life. I painted it, added some little gizmos like the handle grips and stuff. Anyways, yeah. Here it is. Underneath the blue tarp, new project. Let's get this tarp off of here. And voila, there we go. The new project. Okay, I know it didn't look like this when the tarp was on it, but no, okay. Actually, this is the new project right here. So yeah, we've got 2 projects. That's the surprise. There you go. Okay, so what do we have here? What are we looking at? The main project is a 1989 Electric Glide, and it is a bit of a basket case. It is not put together. It's missing several parts. It needs things cleaned, obviously. And yeah, so this is going to be the new project for Gordon's Garage, along with this guy. I'm going to put that to an episode for itself, and then this is what we're going to focus on today. Okay, so we're going to go around this thing. I'm just going to point out a few things, and that will wrap up our video for today. And I'm going to get into some details and probably plan for what this episode of the Harley build is going to be about. So yeah, let's go ahead and get inside and look a little closer. So all the way from Abilene, I've pulled this bike all the way up to Amarillo, and here we are going to do some work, getting this bike going on the road. Oh, can't wait for the ride. I still have my Honda Shadow, so we're still going to be able to enjoy some 2-wheel therapy, some wind therapy. But until then, I cannot wait to get this thing going. I cannot wait. All right, so what are we looking at? We got a side cover off here. It's down here. I took the gas cover thing off. Actually, it was just sitting up there. So yeah, got more to talk about that. Let me see if I can find it. It's on the other side. Right here. So this is the lock to this gas flap. And I was able to get that lock out. I took it to a locksmith and had them cut keys to fit that lock. So that's going to help a lot. There's a lot of questions. I don't know anything about the bike. The guy told me it still runs, so we're going to work with that. Let's see where we get. But when I see stuff like this, I found this laying in a pile. This thing is a clutch actuator. Whenever it rotates, the ball bearings in there, spread that apart. That's what engages and disengages your clutch. That goes on this side. This side is not open, so I'm not sure. The clutch, where's the clutch engage at? I need to find that, and I need to figure out what's going on. What is this? This is the gear shifter. It feels like it's shifting gears. Okay. They said it runs. That's interesting. I'd like to hear it run. We have no battery in here. We have a cover off. We've got to put that back before we can run it. And the other thing we need to do is make sure we clean this up as best we can and get some oil in there, because I believe, yeah, it needs oil in that. This is the oil tank. I need to make sure it has oil. Probably the cap on there would be nice. I don't know if the carburetor runs. This is the S&S Super E. This is an aftermarket carburetor for this bike, I believe. I believe it is. The tank has some dents and bodywork has been started. It's a one-piece tank. I actually believed it was a two-piece until I took this cover off. I could look underneath here, see if I have points or if I have electronic ignition. This might be the electronic ignition. No, maybe not. I will have to see. Let's look at the dash. So it's got a couple of gauges, 4 gauges, a fuel gauge, 5 gauges, volts, fuel, PSI, which is oil, and then your speedometer and tach. I like those. It has a place for radio and speakers. That's awesome. The bags. We do have bags for this. We actually have bags for this. Let me walk over here. I have an assortment of parts. This is why it's a basket case. I have a windshield here, a side cover, a couple cables, a new one in the package, a light bar, tail light, some other stuff. There's a SS Super E cover, and I have 1 bag, 2 bags, and a seat, actually 2 seats. There should be another seat here somewhere. So that's the basic parts I have for the bike. I actually have a headlight over there, that's great. We have a bird nest of wires in there, that's great. I actually have the front brake calipers. Those are over there. So this bike, I don't know. Where are we gonna go with this bike? Okay, so I've placed a lot of this stuff back up on here to try to see what parts I'm missing and so on. Mostly I'm missing bolts, but that's not hard to get. You can get those at a hardware store or whatever. I do have this clutch thing. That sucker has 3 ball bearings, and they like to do that. One's missing. It's probably still in the ground around where this bike was sitting, so I think I know what's going on. If I was to try to understand why this was taken apart and why things were doing what they were, I believe they were converting this to ape hangers, and I caught them mid changing out. This is a stock set of bars for this bike, and you can see how much shorter they are. So we're going about 6 more inches up. And the other thing is these handlebars, if you can see, are a larger diameter. On the bottom of this bar, there is a spot for the cables on your controls, just to get by. On this bar, there's a hole, and the control wires run down the bar, and it hides them real nice. I picked this up because I thought these were too tall. I've climbed up here, and I've sat on this bike and put my hands on it and thought about it. It's really not that tall. The only thing I have is your hands are not being protected by these fairings. So they're up in the wind more. So note to self, when I'm gonna ride this bike, I need thick gloves in cold weather. I can swap it back to the original bars, that's an option. While I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking of a lot of options. If you have a good idea or something, go ahead and write it in the comments down below. Add things like what color you think I should paint this, all the way down to should I black everything out. Take down the frame and just black everything out. I do have this old, this is to a E or a B S&S card because this hole is a lot smaller, but I was looking at a blacked out cover. What would that look like? All right, so I do have a list started. I need a few things just to start this engine. Will it start and run? I got a little bit alarmed when I saw this. It's a push rod, and it sits on that like so. But that's entirely too long for that motor, so this was just something else that was laying around. It kind of spooked me a little bit. The other thing I've noticed is if I'm going to stay with these bars, these front brakes are hard made. There's no adjustment. They're made for the shorter stock bars. If I can't get an extension for this, then so this is what they have. They have an extension. This is for that, and it's just a little bit longer. I think that's what they were gonna do. I think. So, with that said, going back stock is not gonna be hard because I have the stock bars sitting here, but I have to pull all of the control wires back out of the bars. And if y'all know anything about those wiring harnesses, they usually have a large plastic connector to connect to the wiring harness. And you have to unwire that in order to get the wires out of the bars. They went through a lot of trouble getting these bars in here, and I'm like, oh man. So, stock brakes, I need brake pads. That's another thing I need to put an item on the list and figure out how they go on to, yeah, put those right back down there. All right, so comment down below, like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. While I compile a list and try to get this to a point where the next episode, we're gonna see if it runs. Other than seeing if it runs, we're gonna start our list of how much this build is gonna cost. I'm gonna do an extremely budget, and I'll explain the limits of my budget in the next video. So stay tuned. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment down below. What color? What should I do with this? I'm definitely getting a passenger seat on there, so that's one thing. Yeah. Y'all have a good weekend.